Yes. Yeah. Yes. It's the Tim McKernan Show podcast. My name is Tim McKernan. Joining me is Jackson Bennett Burkett. He is now known for Movie Boy.
What up? Good to be here.
Jackson is fresh off of a lunch summit with his fantasy football league, in which Herb and Ken Dog continue to cause problems vetoing his trades.
Yeah, it was a select few from the fantasy league.
Yeah.
And I cooked
Commissioner Gareth joining from Cape Town.
Private Citizen Pete is commissioner. He was at the summit. I traded again with Gary. And, it's causing a real stir, and Herb's all bothered by it, and I just don't get it.
And Herb's in Tokyo.
Herb is in Hell's Kitchen. He's in Manhattan. All right. Yeah.
You ever go to the bar, the Snug there?
No, I think I've only been to Hell's Kitchen once or twice.
Snug, I think it's no longer with us, though.
Really?
That'd be the spot that my wife and I, says the Snug closed August 2025, like literally just now.
Damn.
There's an update. Maybe it's coming back. Bring back the Snug. And that's where Herb is vetoing trades from, Hell's Kitchen?
Might be. It's always, everyone just wants to be funny. Everyone thinks it's all funny. Be like, oh, veto the trade. Because everyone's too scared to trade. It's fantasy sports. You're supposed to trade. Each team should have to have a trade.
I like that. I agree with it.
2 trade minimum. Like, you gotta circulate players.
Good for you. I share your opinion on that.
If we're just going to draft and then sit there and wait, like, what's the point? There's no fun in that.
I got no problem with your take.
Yeah. So the idea of if 2 people have agreed to a trade, that should be it, unless it's really like a fishy dumping kind of trade.
Did you tweet out the link, by the way?
I got to do that right now.
Okay, I was about to tweet my cute boy GIF.
Yeah.
And I couldn't find it. At the top of my Twitter timeline, I'm not all that active on the Twitter tweets.
Right.
This is about as active as I will get. Is Bill Maher interviewing Barbara Eden?
It's wild.
Wasn't she I Dream of Jeannie?
Didn't he also earlier, like a year ago, do the Hawk Tuah girl?
I think it's possible. I'll scroll through my list of podcasts, and I do a lot of Marcus Played.
Sure.
Is that how you do it?
Like with your podcast? Yeah. To go through like what you've just listened to recently?
Yeah. Well, that I'm not going to listen to, actually.
Right. Barbara Eden is 94. Turned 94 a week ago.
And a guest on Bill Maher's podcast.
Yeah. Looks like it. Yeah. It says Barbara Eden resurfaces on 94th birthday. That's nice. Bill Maher slams modern entertainers for lacking old school work ethic with Barbara Eden. What are you going to do? All right, I'm going to tweet out this link. I'm going to tweet it out promptly.
All right. I got a lot going on here. You wouldn't even believe it. It's tough to imagine how important I am. Mm-hmm. I wonder if people grasp that. The program is presented to you by James Carlton of the Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency, online at carltoninsurance.net. He presents the Colonel on Mondays and Fridays on TMA. Then also you've got that Seth Goldcamp, who is literally putting in an air conditioning at my parents' house as we speak. Design Air Heating and Cooling, online at designairservice.com. And then you got that Mark Hanover Greenwell Strategies, who's a wonderful gentleman. I didn't really, Doug, I always talk about I didn't get a financial advisor, I don't know, till right around 40, which I just consider to be one of the biggest misses. Sounds like Doug didn't have one until, I don't know when.
Yeah, till just recently.
Yeah. Holy crap.
But he's sweet on the whole deal.
As he should be.
Yeah.
Mark Hanover's a great guy.
I work with him.
EvergreenSTL.com. I can't say enough good things. You know what I'm going to do? I don't fucking care. It's Jackson's favorite. Is that Joe Pesci?
Little Pesci's coming out.
So Joe Buck just called as we were starting up. That's what I was doing over here. And I was in the process of, on the other line, while Jackson was setting up all the, levers?
Yeah,
pulleys?
Pulleys and levers.
Thank you. And I was texting, but he loves to give me shit, and he'll say, when I call, you pick up. And I said, hey, I'm mid-podcast, but you're more than welcome to join.
Ooh, yeah.
I think he actually wants to talk Cardinals. That's my guess.
I imagine. He has been pretty outspoken about that, even before the skid.
He says, "Ha, I'm good."
Damn. Does he want to join Movie Boy? We can talk train spotting.
But I said, sorry for not answering mid-podcast. You're welcome to join us. Is this me and your 7-iron, buddy?
Yeah.
He sent that screenshot of his, what was that, a 215-yard 7-iron carry? Or no, it was a 193 carry, 215. Sounds like he might have caught it a little thin. Okay, now I'm looking at, I can see the previous shots. The previous shots were 178, 215, 170, 181, 179, 167.
So he seems to be an outlier there.
Then that's why he sent it over.
Yeah, very fair.
All right, Jackson, I've got a bunch of emails here that we did not do a QFTA last week. I don't recall why. I'm doing a lot of podcasts.
I was going to say, you've been heavy on the podcast recently.
Riz and I were halfway through shooting season 2 of Stupiracy. Then I do the Spread Zone, which I just did with Anthony Stalter and Rizzuto. We're Radio Wars, so it's awkward. On that, Sound Story last week.
You had a truncated show on Friday.
Yeah, golf tournament. We shot 16 under at Forest Park.
They'll play.
Not good enough.
Not good enough?
19 under was the winning score.
Yeah, I could see it. All the par 5s are eagle territory.
Yeah.
Every single one of them.
Yeah.
So I could see that. Although, so there's what I've noticed is they've lost a lot of trees, obviously due to the tornado. So they've been putting the pins in very tough locations.
They did. Really I'm telling you.
It's the only way they can play defense because there's no trees.
I guess anymore. That's it. But some of these were par 3s.
Yeah,
I'm like, look at this, tucked. Like tucked. 5 off.
Yeah.
3 paces in.
Really tough pins. Some really tough pins.
Yeah, and so we wound up playing with the foursome in front of us that we already had a wager with. It was a $100 bet each person in the foursome against the other foursome. And then at the turn, like, we'll just go ahead and play an 8-some. It was glorious. The weather perfect as it is as we speak on August 27th, 2025 here in the St. Louis area. And one of the guys who I think had been imbibing just started pressing just left and right. So we get to the no bullshit. This is a scramble. It's a charity scramble.
That's right.
On a Friday afternoon.
Yep.
And so help me God, we were up $1,200 because there were 6 bets out there and we were winning them all. And then the guy who had been pressing on the last hole goes, fuck it, double or nothing.
Oh, my God. So 2,400 on the line?
And it's, you know your 9s at Forest Park.
I do, like the back of my hand.
So this is the 9 that you're heading towards the clubhouse. It's a slight dogleg par 5.
That'd be Dogwood's par 5 finishing hole.
Okay.
Water along the left.
That's correct.
Yeah. Kind of tricky if you're not careful.
And this will, the sad thing is I was in that spot except a worse spot the week before.
Sure.
So I'm kind of like, what am I doing with my life that every Friday afternoon in this beautiful weather, I'm
fighting for my life.
Just now in this case, I'm up, so I'm free rolling.
Sure.
So it was nice to be there.
Yeah.
But because of the recent experience of standing over a ball when that much money is on the line, which for me, I know this for you is,
pocket change.
Thank you. But for me, a meat and potatoes guy.
For sure.
Just a guy that you could have a beer with.
Yeah.
A guy you'd want to have a beer with.
Yeah. A red-blooded American.
Thank you.
Yeah, patriot.
This is a big deal, but because I am 7 days removed from a bigger deal and being on, I guess we could call the receiving end of it, it's like, all right, hey, let's see how the players handle it. This is a nice little charge.
Yeah.
And we already know where my ball went. Down the middle. And then the guys on the other team, the first 3 tee shots are yanked into...
Can't be left. Yeah, it can't be left.
I mean, but only 80 yards yanked. And some of these guys could play.
Right. It makes it a very long way home from there. Because it is actually kind of a long...
It is. I was, after we used my tee ball, and I think we were 265 out.
Yeah.
I could maybe roll a 3-wood up there, maybe.
But it's really narrow, and there's water along the left. It's not the move.
No. And then the last guy, who was a really good player, he probably hit it 30 yards past me. And then we get to the green. Both pairings are putting for a birdie.
Yeah.
and we're 3 feet away with 2 mulligans left, by the way.
Yeah.
Glorious spots. We got 6 runs at a 3-foot putt for birdie.
Birdie's
They're
all day.
putting for birdie downhill, if memory serves, left to right, from about 12 feet. The first 3 players, nothing doing.
Yeah.
And we got to fade one guy. He misses. We're hunting. Actually, you know what? We were up $600, and it was $1,200. It wasn't $1,200.
Got it.
Either way, it's fun.
Yes.
And I saw it off the club face. I'm like, motherfucker, he made it. And sure enough, he made it. And they started Tiger Woods in 2008. So they still lost the 600.
Right.
But they saved 600. And so when we won, it was nice, but we're a rotation away from even more. And I can tell you, as the chairperson, we changed it from chairman.
Yeah, sure.
Chairperson of the Tam Avenue Capital Partners, we could have used that.
With a nice infusion.
We could have used it.
Yeah.
Still, of course, in the red by a lot.
Right. But nothing a cash call can't solve.
That's exactly right.
That's the motto.
That's how you tend to it. So what will I be doing this Friday? Well, I'll be gambling.
Yeah, I can imagine.
On the golf course. I mean, this weather.
It's amazing.
I was out there yesterday. 2 o'clock, I go out there with my 3-year-old, left-handed ball striker.
Yeah.
And then my son has a little thing that he does. We have dinner. The whole family, a bunch of people are up there. And then my son, my now 8-year-old, he just turned 8, plays in this thing. And then he and his buddy wanted to go out there. I was out there from 2 until 8:30.
Jesus. But loved every second of it.
But the weather on your skin.
It feels so good.
For those who haven't been to spring training, what we are experiencing in St. Louis, this is February in Jupiter. This is what the weather. There's no humidity, but it's just this right, perfect zone.
When the wind kicks up, it's cool air and not hot air. I was telling my buddy yesterday we were playing.
Herb.
Private Citizen Pete. I go, I kind of smells like fall. It's just like 1%. That cool, crisp air.
Smells like Missouri 6-0 heading down to the plains to take on War Damn Eagle.
And the best thing about fall is it feels like it's a 4-hour sunset, like around 5:30 or 6.
Don't be hitting the ball into the west.
Yeah, but 5 p.m. the sun starts to start coming down, and it's like this prolonged sunset. It's amazing.
Oh, it's glorious.
It's amazing. No precipitation. I mean, it's not supposed to rain until Wednesday of next week?
It's just glorious. It's awesome. A ball striking season. Yeah, I enjoy it a lot. Papers. It's QFTA. It's presented to you by James Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency. Also by Mark Hanna, Evergreen Wealth Strategies, and also by Seth Goldcamp of Design Air Heating and Cooling. Email of the day. Belichick's Buxom Bosom is in the YouTube chat and says, hey, fellas. Veiled Prophet says, is there still the Learn cutout in the studio? Hi, Tim. Hello to Comrade Vlad, too, I guess. It's in the Veiled Prophet, who I believe Doug banned from the show today, but I'm not sure. The Learn cutout, we are in the TMA studio. 10 months since we've done a show in here, Jackson, at least TMA. I do not see it. You would only be able to speak to your side of the council.
Learn requested it for some...
Oh, I was about to say she requested getting moved, and that would have been...
No. She wanted it. They were doing some... It might have been Point Fest or something, where they wanted to cut out of Learn or something, and she requested it. And it was... But that was, I feel like, a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in a while.
Yeah, it's long gone.
Let's see. Remind Joe Buck about Artie Lang destroying his HBO show. He will love that. That's from Belichick's Buxom Bosom. Yeah, I think he's probably over that. And honestly, I think he's well into the 9-figure net worth and probably playing like St. Louis Country Club today right now before calling Monday Night Football.
Yeah. So he's gearing up.
He's probably good. I doubt he's in the YouTube chat, but maybe he is. And if he is, Joe, chime in and tell us if that event from 16 years ago is in your craw. Let's see. Thoughts on the Ryder Cup team. Would you bet on Team USA to win? Yes, I would. And the main reason, honestly, is what I think will be absolute anarchy in New York in late September.
I think people are going to be fired up.
As far as the Ryder Cup team, I love Predictionary because I like a count.
Yeah.
I like a count. So I just got done shooting a Spread Zone episode with Rizzuto and Stalter, and I am, of course, spreadsheet boy for our picks. 13-4 for the podcast last week, by the way.
Good numbers.
And my gut was I don't think Keegan Bradley wants to have the defining moment of his professional career be that he chose to be the first American, first person in general, to be a playing captain since not like Sepp Straka or something, but Arnold Palmer, as if Keegan Bradley could pull that off. I just don't think he was going to do that. That was my reasoning for it. Then over the last 72 hours, hashtag sources were saying that he was in. And I'm just like, God, I still don't think that that's the case, but maybe I'm off. So I think he did the right thing. Now, on the outside looking in, I kind of have the same reaction that Doug does to captaining the Ryder Cup, which is I don't know how much could possibly go into it. The thing is, those who have actually played in it talk about how much goes into it. And even though on the outside looking in, it's like, okay, I'll just put Scheffler and Burns out there against McIlroy and Straka.
Right.
All right, let's go get coffee. There's apparently a hell of a lot more to it. Yeah. I guess for like the 4-ball matches, number one, comfortable pairings, like who you get along with, whose vibe I think is, like for me, I like to play with somebody who doesn't give me pep talks. I don't need that shit. Come on, let's get going. Yeah, I mean, I'm already there.
Right.
I don't need
trying to hit it close every time. There's nothing you can say that's going to make me.
I just don't get it. But so I think,
that level.
Then I think that if you want to go into like data, like as an example of what could matter, but I also don't know how much time you need to spend on this. Okay, he's hitting at 270. This guy hits at 290, and this guy's better from 150 than he is 170 or something like. I mean, this is like the stuff that DraftKings has. I don't know. All I know is guys who actually played thought it would be a mistake for him to take on that responsibility because he's kind of on the periphery, relatively speaking, of great American golfers. Mm-hmm. And so I didn't think that he would want the defining moment in his native part of the country to be, I'm going to put myself in the category of Arnold Palmer, even though he may not be saying that by being the first playing captain since 1963. And that was my reasoning for saying that he would not do it. Personally, I like it, and I think it's the right decision. Right. That's where I am. I think that's also probably an unpopular take at the moment from what I gather, but that's where I am on it.
I've always seen both sides of it. Like, he's in form. Like, I think if he wasn't the captain, he probably got picked. So, like, to say he's, like, him picking it wouldn't be, like, selfish. I also totally get him being like, I don't want to do this, the Arnold Palmer thing. And just, like, I don't want that pressure. Like, I'd rather focus. Like, if I'm playing, I want to focus on playing. If I'm being the captain, I want to focus on being the captain, and I don't want to do both. Like, I understand. I was going to be on board with whatever decision he made because he seems like a thoughtful guy. Like words like selfish or self-serving, like just and Keegan Bradley don't work together for me. From what I know about him, he did a couple of very long Bob Does Sports episodes where he shows off a lot of his personality. He seems like salt of the earth, kind of.
He'll throw a wager around with you.
Absolutely. Seems like a guy
with Jordan.
Clearly super competitive as well, and so definitely wants to win. Like, he's not taking this captainship lightly, as I don't think anyone would.
Yeah, this is a defining moment. I think if they do win, he either gets to captain again at Adair Manor, which I am hoping to be at with my entire family for my parents' 50th wedding anniversary. Oh.
That'll be awesome.
I mean, I'm a meat and potatoes guy. Never been to Europe.
Yeah. You're going to you hopefully do like 2 weeks, right?
Oof.
Or a week, maybe?
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah,
at
you
least.
wouldn't go there for anything less than a week.
But how do I handle it? I got to think, let's see, I would have a 10 and a 5-year-old then.
That'd be all right.
Well, who's going to be watching them? Bring them over to the UK? Have Mary Poppins take care of them?
That'll work.
All right.
Just take
Dick Van Dyke?
Yeah, he'll be 104, probably still kicking.
So good question. I was hopeful that that's the decision he would make. Do you think that the last 2 years of crime in the city is a major factor regarding attendance for the Redbirds? I respect the question. Anytime the topic comes up, I think it's important to immediately present the success of city's attendance and certainly the Blues attendance and go, well, they're at downtown as well. But I think what winds up happening, certainly with social media, and then also if you're just like clipping off things or giving a headline, you can lose nuance. I think decisions are made for people on whether or not they want to go to a Cardinal game, and they kind of sit there and go through, it's not going to be that great. What's the weather like? Okay, well, the weather's good. Who are they playing? Okay, they're not competitive, but whatever. Is it worth it to pay for the parking? God, it's going to be nighttime. I don't know if I really want to mess with it. And so then they start weighing it and go, fuck it, I'd rather not.
Right.
That's what I think. I think that's essentially what's going on.
I agree. I think Lex Luthor put in the chat that he thinks a big reason for Cardinals' attendance decline is population moving west. The only growing areas of the region are St. Charles and other exurbs. I agree. I think like that's a big thing. Like if you're having to drive, even if you're living in like pretty central corridor locations, like 25, 30 minutes, even further away if you're St. Charles or wherever, like to do that, if you have kids, it's just like all of it. And then the main thing in the umbrella is just the team's not very exciting. You know, the team is what it is, around 500. There's plenty of teams worse. Like there's lots worse situations out there. They're just not really that exciting.
I think at the core, and this is speaking more to the Cardinals and not the crime question, which I respect and I do think it is a factor. I don't think it is the factor. And again, I point to the Blues and City, is, you know, just the thing that you like to play, the drop that you like to play recently, which is a great drop. And it's Mozeliak saying, I think overall as an org,
yeah, we're in a great spot.
We're in a great spot.
There's a disconnect.
That it does not work. Now, I would say that even if you believe / know that it's in a good spot, just for the sake, let's roll that out there. There has to be an awareness that the people you're talking to think that that is a ludicrous statement. And so therefore, it requires some thought into how you communicate that. So, if indeed that is true, just as an off the cuff, I realize as I exit, there is a great deal of frustration with me and the job that we've done lately. Now, while I'm very proud of my tenure and we've had some great success, I know that the fans are frustrated. And considering the performance of the last few years and the expectations that we played a role in setting through our success, I understand that. But I am privy to information that is not common information for the majority of the fan base because that is our responsibility in the front office. And something that I would leave Cardinal fans with is that even though in the standings we're not where we would want to be and not where we expected to be, the good news is this. We have a number of players who you might not be familiar with as household names right now in the organizational pipeline who you're going to see in the next few years. They're going to lead this team back to the glorious era that we used to enjoy around here regularly. And I think that kind of messaging would have resonated better because you're acknowledging that it's not good, you're taking responsibility for it, and then you're still able to communicate that you think things are actually pretty decent, but the public probably doesn't realize that. And it is to me, you're still saying much of the same thing, but you're adding some semblance of accountability and also, you know, being direct. I just think that's where they've missed, and I don't know who inside of there right now can / will do that.
Right. Or even a message 70% of that sentiment, you know, like something acknowledging. But people like we talked about yesterday on TMA, the clip of Bill DeWitt III talking to Martin on his podcast about fan support and fans who might protest, but really that is counterproductive. It's like just something to acknowledge, like, hey, we know that things have been bad and we want to work to get better. Like just something acknowledging it, because it's like when In-N-Out says we have great fries. Like who's telling you that you have great French fries?
Wow, nice analogy.
Like if you acknowledge it and say we're trying to work on something to make it better, people get like fired up. You're like, okay, at least I'm not like being told I'm wrong. You know, essentially, because when you say stuff like that, it's basically telling the fans you're wrong about your assessment of the Cardinals, and no one wants to be told they're wrong.
Right. So you have to, but so that's the thing. So in his mind, if he does believe that, and I'm sure he does, because here's the thing, I don't think he really cares at this point.
Right. Especially at this point.
But I mean, and I don't want to say he doesn't care and that he doesn't care about his job. I think he's so numb to the criticism that if he does believe that, you also aware of the criticism he does. Anytime he comes on, he jokes about it. Well, I mean, aren't you guys happy? This is the last year you have to deal with me. Okay, so you're aware of that. I don't know. I don't know. I just keep going back to it. It's the fact that the Blues do what they do and the Cardinals do what they do. And the Cardinals have to be aware of how the Blues have the equity that they have. So much of it is through the way they communicate with the fan base and the fact that they make themselves available to take questions and put themselves in a position to take criticism. But honest and direct and authentic communication has value. And I just think that is something that the Cardinal organization has really missed. Jackson, I am sending out a
Cute boy gift?
Cute boy, I think. I don't know. But the gentleman's wearing a beret, so there's a part of me.
Enchanté.
There's a part of me it's not sure. Well, either way, I've done my work. All right, YouTube chat as well, and then I got these emails. Just cycling on, we talking SEC ball. Can we talk nothing here but SEC ball? That's Alan Dadeville, who loves Georgia. I can't wait for SEC ball.
Oh, me too, man.
All 3 of my 4 picks on Spread Zone involve SEC teams.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You liked...
I will. You could.
Yeah, you have to listen to the podcast. Can't step on the podcast. Can't and won't.
That's me while you decide whether or not to call my shove. Nothing's going to move. You can look for this vein.
Right.
It's buried under my face shrubs. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's not going to, it might be pulsing, it might not be. I might be strong. I might be leaning forward because I'm strong, but I might be knowing that you're looking for me to lean forward because you're thinking I'm strong, even though I'm weak, and so I'm giving off false tell. You don't know.
I've told you, I'd be a bad poker player because I giggle too much.
Like when you shove, you start tee-heeing and your chips start...
Like I bluff, I'm like, I raise, and I giggle. But if
I've got 7 high, Herb.
But if I'm always giggling, then you never know.
Yeah, that's the trick.
It's 3D chess over here.
Yeah, great players. Hands don't shake. Amateurs, so to speak. I guess we're all amateurs. But they when they got a big hand, they're not bluffing with hands shaking.
So with online poker, you lose out on all those tells.
That's right.
So is that like a different art to online poker?
The way I was successful with online poker is you could look up players' usernames, which on Bovada is not possible now. It's why I don't really mess with it. It's got to be like really shitty weather. Both my kids can't be home, and I've got nothing to do.
The literal perfect storm.
Wow, it's almost like sad. Like anytime my wife will come downstairs and I'm playing poker, she goes, "Oh boy, it must be really bad." That's the reaction.
Yeah. Nothing good on TV.
I would look up the players. If they were profitable, they tended to play one way, and if they were shitty, they played one way.
Right.
And so I would then enter in their return on investment over their careers, and
could learn about them.
Just based on that, then there was a style of play that losing players would tend to play, or that you could kind of bully them, for lack of a better term, 3-bet them, 5-bet them, shove, and you would get them to fold, and then good players. So that I found when I would play in the World Series of Poker, I actually felt like I did better against the guys I could tell were good. Mm-hmm. But then the guys who I'm like, oh my fucking God, I was lost.
That's all I've always heard. It's like guys who are good are predictable, and you can leverage that. But guys who are just have no idea, total wild cards.
Sure, because that's the game, absolutely. But at the same time, I mean, I haven't played that thing in like a decade, and the game has changed substantially. On SEC ball, can't wait, number one. Love that we have games on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. How do you do?
It's the best.
Thursday, you got the Fighting Gers. Friday, ILL, number 12 in the country, taking on Western Illinois. Wardam Eagle heads down to Waco. Is this Hugh Freeze's last stop? Saturday, 11 o'clock, stupid, but still 11 o'clock, Texas, Ohio State. You've got Bama and Florida State and Tallahassee. Then you've got Clemson hosting LSU in the Battle of the Death Valleys on Sunday night. The Fighting Irish go to Miami. And then Bill Belichick makes his college football head coaching debut against TCU on Monday. Are you horse plowing me out there?
Wow. He gets all Monday night all to himself. God.
Yep.
What a huge win.
56.5 is the number.
56.5 is the total?
Isn't that a surprising total?
Yeah.
I was telling you.
Everyone's going to be scared to take that over.
So you think under's chalk and we should go over?
Yeah.
Wow, Jackson Burkett has just released a play.
Yeah.
This is a guy who went like 14-2 on the spread zone during the college basketball
I think people
season.
are going to be really scared of that number, and I like the sound of it.
Lex Luthor says whichever league moves to Chesterfield first, whether it's the MLB, NHL, or hopefully NBA or NFL, will dominate the region in perpetuity. That's from Lex Luthor.
Maybe. I think it's all dependent on sport trends, too. You know, how does baseball trend over the next 10, 20 years? Same with all the other sports.
I can tell you this, individually, I would be more apt to go to a Cardinal game if it was not downtown,
Like if it was in Maryland Heights.
for example,
Yeah. Yeah, I could totally see that.
personally.
Yeah.
I am open to and welcome. This isn't like, I'll tell you something about people who are pro downtown. I was pro downtown. I give my credentials. I lived down there for 3 years. My business's offices were down there at 19th and Locust for 2007 to 2016. So, you know, and I worked down there from 2000 to 2005. And I thought, mistakenly, that the building of Ballpark Village would lead to a bunch of people moving down there. I am now of the opinion, but open to being told I'm wrong, not just being told I'm wrong, but with some semblance of data. I don't think that downtown is as necessity for a region's success as I did 25 years ago. I also think just the natural makeup of St. Louis at this particular moment, as a city, relatively speaking to others, without as many young people with money, and also without as many young single people, like, for example, people who wait until, or just don't, get married into their 30s and 40s, it lends itself to downtown living. You know,
Right.
I was a big-time outlier in the 2009, 10, 11, 12 years when I lived down there as somebody who was living with somebody and then eventually married and didn't have kids. And I was in my 30s, mid-30s. You know, that's not common in St. Louis.
Right.
But I think it's becoming more common. You just need young money and single people at this particular moment.
Right. And I would not say that there's an influx of that or really any signs of that coming.
So I just kind of think the downtown thing is, I don't know. I love the idea of it.
Yeah.
I just don't know if I think it might be more nostalgic than it is pragmatic.
Yeah.
Tim McKernan, August 27th, 2025.
Right.
That can be the headline for the Twitter campaign.
Tim McKernan, 2025.
Yeah, that's when he said it. I can't imagine what the city will look like if the Cardinals move. It's terrible now and only get worse. It's from Matt Johnson.
Yeah, it would be tough.
Cardinals would never move. It's a stupid narrative. Yeah, I don't know if I agree with that. Both from St. Louis and or from downtown. But, you know, hey, maybe I am wrong. I'm confident I'm not, but I certainly don't want to be right on that one. Let's see. Jackson. Fellas, I watched a 20-minute video on the downtown Chesterfield project, and it looks better than I imagined. That's from the Cardinals Cowboy Pontoon. 100% agree. If it was in Chesterfield with a giant-ass parking lot, it would make it much easier for me to say yes to a game. That's from the Rogue Onion.
Okay. Yeah, I get people saying it. I still at this moment would prefer it downtown. I like it there, but I get what people are saying. It's tough to argue the logic. I just like the arch in the backdrop.
Tim in orange looks better than I imagined. It's from the Rogue Onion.
I don't think that's orange.
I think it's red.
It's red. It does look.
Does
orange.
it look orange on the?
Yeah, it does. It does. But it is like it's damn near city red.
Hey Tim and Jackson too. Now I'm going into the emails, which I said I would do, and then I didn't. How do you normally spend your Mizzou game days? I assume you don't have season tickets and a parking pass since you normally just hit a couple games a year. Do you have friends with parking passes and tailgating lots or belly up at a bar? Just curious. I know you may not want to go into specifics for paparazzi reasons, although I'd love to share a libation with you. Go Tigers. That's from the co-founder of Fairmount Park Players Club.
Love this question.
Yeah, it is a great question. Tip of the cap to the co-founder of the Fairmount Parks Players Club.
I usually, if I'm going to a game,
You're not going to a game in September.
no.
You don't recognize South Carolina as a threat. You hate Shane Beamer. You don't think you could handle it.
South Carolina game maybe.
You're not going to waste time with Louisiana or UMass.
South Carolina game.
You can't go to Kansas.
UMass might be like I might only have that option really.
So you're going to go down to Columbia to watch that shit.
No.
When you got the Ryder Cup going on, you got Illinois hosting USC, Roll Tide taking on Georgia. The September 27th college football schedule is
your birthday
glorious.
too.
I think that was kind of implied. Do I need to say Christmas is December 25th?
You're right. You're exactly right.
Shit gets tiring, man.
Oh, I know it.
Thank you.
When's the South Carolina game?
September 20th.
Fuck. That's a possibility. I would say that's a possibility. Game time not released yet, if I'm not mistaken, right?
No, it is not.
Okay. Yeah. If that's a 2:30, high chance I go. So I have a friend.
LSU Ole Miss. Notre
is it on
Dame
the
travels to
27th?
Fayetteville, Alabama. Night game at Georgia. Oregon at Penn State.
Jesus. Oregon at Penn State. Is that a night game that Oregon at Penn State? Oh, they won't know yet.
Oregon at Penn State, 6:30. Wow.
Here we go.
They didn't want to. Let me tell you something. That's all about Oregon being Pacific time zone. Otherwise, they would be buried in that stupid fucking 11 o'clock time
Might be
zone.
a whiteout game.
Yeah, that's got to be whiteout.
Yeah, that's gonna be
Kentucky,
sick.
South Carolina, Arizona State, TCU, USC, Illinois, Tennessee, Mississippi State, Arizona, Iowa State, Ohio State, Washington, UCF, Kansas State, LSU, Ole Miss, Indiana, Iowa. That could be of note. Notre Dame, Arkansas, Oregon, Penn State, Alabama, Georgia, Ryder Cup. And you're going to tell me you're going to go down there and look at the foliage?
Nah, fuck that.
All right, you're out.
Thinking South Carolina. But so when I go down for games, I have a friend who lives in Columbia full time. And so I'll usually go to his house. Then we'll mosey on down. His father has a home near the stadium, so we'll park there. And then we'll walk around. I usually stop at my old fraternity just to say hi. Usually some alumni there, hang out with them. And then I got another buddy who's got a spot down by the hospital.
Oatmeal.
Nah, no. I don't know if I want to give this guy's name away.
Well, I mean, they're always like nom de plumes.
Double H.
Double H. Wow.
Yeah, go ahead up.
Can't believe you gave that away.
Go head up Double H and tailgate with him for a little bit in their kind of spot. Then we'll walk into the game. So I cover all of it. I cover Greektown, right by the stadium, get to see it all, walk around. It's great.
I am so fired up for going down for Missouri, Kansas a week from Friday.
It's going to be awesome.
I'm so fired up.
You got your hotels and everything set up.
Oh, I had that booked in December, baby.
Yeah. Oh.
I got hotels for 2 nights for Kansas, for South Carolina. Just unloaded the Alabama one. All about the 11 o'clock kick. Because I figure if I really want to go to that game, then we just go down there that day.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Leave at like 7 a.m.
Fuck off with the 11 o'clock kick. It's just so tired.
Yeah.
Oh, Alabama, Georgia. That's not at 11 o'clock. Yeah, go fuck yourselves. it's just like what they did with the LSU game. You know what?
Yeah.
If there's a blue blood coming to a team that could snatch them, they scheduled 11 o'clock. It's just the way that the SEC does it. That's fine. Hey, you know what you do? You win.
Yep.
What did Kim English say?
Just win.
No, that's Al Davis. We remedy by winning. We
remedy this by winning?
No, something with begins with an R. Anybody know? YouTube chat, save the day. Anyway, reconcile by winning.
Reconcile, okay.
That was in reference to Mike Anderson, his bolting. We reconcile.
Right. Yeah. He was like a freshman when he probably said that, too.
I
Impressive as hell.
think so. I think you're correct on that. And then also the A&M. I got those all ready to go.
Yeah.
Passed on Hail State. I'll stay with Stingray and his RV.
That's. I feel like Missouri's played Mississippi State a lot recently. Not too fired up about that. Like the fact that they haven't played Ole Miss since 2019, but have played Mississippi State now a couple times. Gabe said it on their show last week. They've only played at LSU one time.
2017, is that right?
How lame shit is that?
Yeah. Well, I really want to go on that trip.
Yeah. So that's the new 9-game schedule. Like that's really cool.
Oh, it's the greatest. God, it's so good.
Like Texas has been now in the SEC 2 years now. It's still Missouri.
Like just for the sake of it, and I'm not saying I would want this, but just for the sake of it, imagine if Missouri were playing Kansas tomorrow night, which is the Thursday game against Central Arkansas, and instead it's like, okay, Missouri and Kansas, or Missouri and Illinois, both with some expectations this year. Illinois is being higher. They open up, but it's kind of like, okay, Central Arkansas, Western Illinois.
Yeah, in a sense, though, I also like that, especially with the turnover on the offense this year, like to be able to see these things kind of before the Kansas game, like to see what you kind of got, even though it's an inferior opponent, exponentially inferior, just seeing like a real game situation and, there's a win to be had at the end of the game. It's not just a scrimmage. I think there is value to that. But year in, year out, I wouldn't say that.
Can't wait for Gabe's post-game shows.
I really wish he still allowed live calls.
God, that was the best.
The Skype calls.
I wonder if Sound Story would be the presenting sponsor of the Colonel's post-game shows, but the term must take minimum of 15 live phone calls. And the phone calls must have a duration of a minimum of 60 seconds.
And they have to be on hold waiting. Because that's where we got to this. Is
wonder if I could get that done. Maybe James Carlton and I go in heads up.
I don't want to speak for Gabe, but he seems pretty malleable in terms of his programming.
I really do think he might be willing to do it.
You're going to pay? All right, whatever. Okay, we'll have calls.
Fine, we'll do it. It's stupid, but...
Yeah, right. He'll begrudgingly, but he'll do it.
I don't fucking care.
I really like Gerard Hamilton, who does the post-game shows.
Yeah, he does the post-game shows.
He's really good. He's a good follow. And Andrew King, his whole crew is really solid at Paramizu.
So what do we do? So Friday night, you recommended that restaurant.
44 Canteen.
Thank you. Might hit that.
Yeah.
2:30 kick for Kansas. Probably sleep in.
Yeah.
Which is just a glorious thing. Then
What's
probably
sleep
head
in
over.
to you? 9:30, 10?
Yeah, that's aggressive at this point.
Yeah.
My wife always goes, "Why'd you get up so early?" I'm like, I like it.
Yeah.
I enjoy getting up early.
Yeah.
The solitude.
Mm-hmm.
And the boys get up. I mess around with them. But in this case, it'll just be me and my wife, and probably head over to the game, enjoy some libations, and then that Warson Woods wacko says he has my house passes.
Beautiful. It seems like a A+ day.
I mean, it's just the greatest.
Yeah.
And then my older son's all excited about the Stiefel Classic. So we're going to drive back to St. Louis on
there for
Sunday
Sunday?
and go to that.
That'd be perfect. That sounds like an outstanding, and the weather's going to be great.
Ideally,
Knock on
yeah.
wood. That's going to be awesome. I will say tailgating has changed a decent amount for me since they started selling booze at the game. Like, it's a much more relaxed tailgate now, whereas before... Like,
You had to rage?
You kind of had to feel like
Yeah.
you had to get good and ready before you walk in the stadium. But now you can
just
just...
so great. And go get a beer. I mean, what
Just
the fuck
hang
are we
out. It
doing?
was so
What's this
dumb. It
dumb
was so
shit?
dumb. It was so dumb. But now you can just hang out, have a beer at the game, not have to, sneak anything in or, that nonsense. Like, now you can just relax. And it's a huge moneymaker. The fact that they were against it was crazy.
It's like the gambling with the guy with the video poker.
Yeah, it's always something.
Let me see what else I got here. Papers. So I hope that answers the question, co-founder of Fairmount Park Players Club. Yeah, I cannot wait for going to the game. Let's see what I got. Holy shit. This is long. Tim and Movie Boy. First off, I have to admit, I am a total fanboy of TMA and QFTA. I honestly cannot remember the last time I missed a TMA episode.
Oh, yeah.
I've been listening religiously since the early days with Tim the Cat and Martin. Holy shit. The show just keeps me coming back. There are so many elements that make me laugh out loud. Doug's rants, the constant badgering of producers, Jackson, Projo, Iggy, Plowhawk, Willie, Gangster Pete, and of course the general nonsense that somehow always keeps me engaged. That said, nothing makes me laugh harder than a perfectly timed drop. When it hits just right, it's truly a work of art. Does Jackson know that sometimes his drop timing rivals... He says Seymour's, must mean Stedman's, because Seymour never ran the board. Stedman's back in the day. It's an underrated skill. This might sound like an odd request, but I'd love to hear a deep dive on the drops themselves. How did drops become such a core part of the show? With so many in the archive, how are they managed, or are they? I bet you could easily fill a couple of hours with the history and evolution of drops, even better. A segment where Jackson plays a few classic drops in the dais, discusses their origins and context would be incredible. Is the porpoise sound really Tim's laugh sped up?
Yes.
Also, are Iggy drops strategically withheld?
No.
Do you not play Iggy drops?
No, I mean, sometimes I do. It's funny to play. The best thing with playing Iggy drops was when Iggy was talking, and then you'd play an Iggy drop. Because sometimes he would contradict himself in drop form, and it was really fun. But there's times, but some of them are like, some of the drops, some of the really older drops, like, I'm surprised we're be able to play then. There's just some words in there that I wouldn't necessarily use.
It's unbelievable.
But obviously, that's just culture's obviously changed a lot since 2004.
Some of those are gold. The Charlie and Jay drops next level. For what it's worth, here's my personal Mount Rushmore of drops. You actually got a Mount Rushmore.
Oh, yeah.
Iggy, you don't have a mom because the mom, whatever the hell that is.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Iggy, I've got a landing strip that's, I think, mocking producer Joe, I
Correct.
think.
There's some ones where Iggy's mocking someone else, but it just makes for a way better drop of Iggy.
Tim doing the Imperial March with the woot sound.
Woot, woot,
Yeah.
woot, woot,
Doug,
woot.
would you like me to take off my boy panties? Appreciate all you do. Thanks for keeping the laughs coming. Thanks for all you do. That's from Tom. And he's got drop requests for papers.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, the timing of drops is important, It's best to do get it ready while the person's finishing their thought, so that you're in there when there's that pocket of dead air, not wait for the dead air and then play. You got to find the pocket, and it's you get better with it with time because you understand people's cadence. There's things Tim does where I know right after he's done with this sentence or clause, he's going right into another one, so I won't play a drop. There's other ones where I know where there's going to be a little break. I know Doug's cadence. I've gotten better at learning Martin's. It's all kind of learning it as you go in terms of timing. And in terms
You've had some great timing here over the last few weeks.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you. There's been, and then with management, there is a ton. I mean, I'm thinking probably close to 900.
Is that right?
If not maybe 1,000 drops in the folder. And that's not even counting clip.off.com. So, yeah, it sometimes can be hard to manage, but I usually open up a good, and I know exactly which ones are titled what. I have a very good handle on that. So no need to worry. Drops are here to stay.
Yeah, it's a great question. I've never thought about it. I'd love to hear a deep dive on the drops themselves. How did drops become such a core part of the show? I actually do not know.
It's kind of a radio thing, right?
I honestly don't know, because Stedman was not the original board operator on the show. It was a guy named Nickel.
Right. And you probably would have had no drops. Or if they were, they'd be movie references.
He kind of he was used to, kind of I guess, what we initially dealt with at 101. He was used to a certain way.
Yeah.
And the audience was used to a certain way. And then we came in and did it differently, but we wouldn't break, and he would freak out. And he of course didn't sound like a crow, but when I picture him screaming, that's the sound I hear. Now, it's been 21 years since I've heard it, and I don't know. I mean, because what my mindset was in 2004, and the Cats, and Martin's for that matter, was television was our primary job.
For sure.
Although I started making more from radio than television when the Atlanta guys came in 2004, which is why I left television, because I liked doing radio more, and I was making substantially more doing radio. And it was like, why would I do this shit that I hate?
Right.
But I wasn't in the position to, say, hey, this board operator is
Banty AF.
Yeah. You gotta do something here.
You just have to fight it, deal with it.
Right, but Stedman came in at some point, and Stedman truly, he's the board operator, didn't talk, did not want to talk, but he wanted to be a broadcaster. And he was a great guy. I remember when I nearly moved to New York City, I was outside of SNY, on Fifth Avenue, sitting there just bullshitting in between, I guess, meetings, and I'm sitting there deciding whether or not to go, and I'm like, one of the things that's important to me is would Stedman come back?
Yeah.
And I remember calling him from New York, and I can't remember. I think he kind of wanted to move on because it had been, rough at the end with that Atlanta group. Yeah, and I guess he never did come back. I don't think he came back to the show, although there's a part of me that wonders if he did. I'm looking at you like you would.
But there was one time where
I thought maybe he came. I think, he had to have come back. He had to have come back.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
Right, because
he did. He was there when we went back to KFNS in 2012.
It was definitely KFNS, because there's a segment that we play on all day where it's called Stedman's Symphony of Drops. The power went out of the station or something.
And he just started playing drops.
And it slowly came back. You guys could talk in the mics, but I don't know if it was going out over the air. And he just played 85 drops in a row, and it was unbelievable.
It's one of those things, and I feel so the main reason why hey, lucky for me, I look back on this and I go, God, that's kind of ballsy, but I did it out of, okay, this happened, I got to make sure I put things in my contract to keep it from happening again. So there was a producer Joe clause that he had to be the producer, and then there was a clause that this was when we went to 1380, and I didn't go to New York. So September of 2007, that I had to have a final say, my approval on who co-hosts were, and it's because of Bob Fesco, not Bob as a guy, but we didn't know each other.
Right.
We never met, and we were just told we're going to do a show together. I mean, that's just. Yeah. I'd like to think all parties now, nearly 2 decades removed, would go, okay, that didn't make sense. That's just not That's just not. And I think, and listen, I've met with Jason Barrett, who was the one who put that together here within the last year. Couldn't be more complimentary. Of there's just understand we do things differently, but it doesn't mean you have to dislike them. I still think the radio poll thing's goofy, but whatever. Then I thought it was goofy then, doesn't change now. But it's like, okay, you like this and you do this, great. I do this. Both have been successful. Great. What you like and what I like are never going to mix, but that doesn't mean that we can't have a respect for each other. But I would like to think Jason would say, yeah, in hindsight, it would have been better if I would have had a chance to have you and Bob meet and do a couple of sample shows before blowing up a show that wasn't as popular as it is now, but it was starting to gain traction in the market and when it was blown up. So that's why I made sure that then, hey, it was Simmons Media that owned 1380. To their credit, they put that in there. And if they wouldn't have, I don't know what I would have done. I'm not sure I would have done it, but that was important. And I know Stedman didn't run the board at 1380, but then when we went back to KFNS, and I guess that was 2010, Stedman was there, and we worked together because the only reason, for whatever reason, it clicked is that Joe and Iggy would get in fights back there. They were in this little tiny room. Not as small as the thing that you're in here.
But a little, yeah.
But there were three of them in there. It would be Stedman, Joe, and Iggy. Joe didn't like Iggy. Iggy didn't like Joe.
Was it like that little back room at 920 that was there?
Yes.
Okay.
This room was smaller than that, though.
That's about a quarter the size of this room.
Yeah, I would say.
Yeah.
And then one time Stedman, so it stands out, never talked. One time, I think either Joe or Iggy, and while they were chirping at each other, bumped into his elbow on the mouse, and Stedman, who doesn't talk, started screaming at them. It stopped the show because we could hear it through the soundproofing.
There was a ruckus going on.
They're whose voice is that? Because we've never heard it.
Right, yeah. This guy
and it's Stedman. But he was so good. And you've had a couple of those for real within the last month where Martin and I, because we recall the Stedman era at the beginning, where we would go, how does he know to go to that drop and have it ready?
Right.
We're that predictable. And that's why I appreciated the importance of it. But how the first drops were played, I have no idea.
Right.
And yes, you're right. It goes on. It's gone on in radio. But these were more show-oriented, self-deprecating.
Right. Stuff almost like if you heard it originally said in whatever context and then heard the drop throughout time, it creates this kind of lore around it. There is a inside joke element to it that some drops are just fun. Some drops are just funny because they've been around for so long and they're always used. And the I Like Cookies drop is so dumb.
Right.
It's so dumb.
But it speaks to the inside joke nature of the
show. The show is about the show.
And it's one of those things. About a year ago, a little less than a year ago, I guess, there was a guy who I knew, mutual friend, and I would play golf with every once in a while. And he goes, I started listening to the show. He goes, it's fucking terrible. I'm like, wow. But it's kind of, I'm like, babe, you're not creating a burner to tweet at me or DM me. You're actually saying it to me. I respect you. And he goes, and I'll tell you my reasoning. He goes, I've never listened to it before, so everything is an inside joke. And so if you're not familiar with the show, you have no idea what you guys are talking about. Now, you guys all get it, but then a new listener feels totally lost and then just moves on because they can tell that you guys think it's funny and the audience thinks it's funny, but we have no idea what you're talking about. And I'm like, fair assessment. Obviously, this is our own little world. So it was good to hear from somebody, because most of my friends don't listen to the show, and I love that. But last night, like I said, I was out, and this guy's wife goes, "What are you up to now?" And I'm still doing the same show I was doing since 2004. And the guy goes, "Yeah, he's up right there at Kirkwood, Woodlawn in Manchester." I go, "No, We've been
away from
and this
there
is a guy who was
years.
texting me about the show during the show, and Paul from the wealthy part of West County, he's texted or called in a stock tip.
He thought we were in Kirkwood at that time?
Still. So it's one of those things that if you are in the bubble, you don't realize you are in the bubble. How could you? because in order to find out that you're not in the bubble, you have to communicate with somebody outside the bubble.
Right.
So the fact that my circle of friends is not in the bubble, it opens my eyes to how incredibly insignificant the program is. But for those in the bubble, it's sometimes surprising, certainly would be the word, but surprising, it needs to carry a little more power than that. Shocking, actually, I would say, how the show is such a big part of their lives. And I may have told the story before about the day the Plowhawk left, and a guy who I didn't necessarily consider to be in the bubble, so to speak, comes up to me and goes, "Man, tough day." And I'm going, "Fuck. I know I've been in meetings. Like, has there been like an event?" And I go, "I'm sorry, I've been in meetings. What happened?" And this is not in this building. This is outside. And he goes, "I mean, today was the Plowboys' last day." And I go, "Oh, yeah, I mean, you know, you probably didn't know this, but they were going to probably whack him." And he called me a couple weeks ago and, you know, let me know that he was going to try to go back to, or had been called to go back. So, you know, but so it's a weird thing that I don't expect anybody to relate to, and I understand it may come off the wrong way when I tell these little anecdotes, because it's not a lack of gratitude that people care that much. It's just there's two different worlds that I live in, and for the most part, when I'm not in this building, I'm not living in the TMA world. But for a lot of people, not a lot, but for a portion of people, the bubble, they spend time, most of their time social media-wise, with other TMA people or in group chats, group text chains, whatever, with TMA people, and it's the focus of. So then me as a person who hosts it, it's not my life, even though I'm hosting it. And I think that's probably a weird, like, I don't even really think about it that much.
Right.
I'm fucking around with my fantasy baseball team until about 6:15, unless I see something on TikTok that I think will be good audio, and I send it to you.
That's right.
And then I leave the house around 6:35.
Yep.
That's the gig.
And we do the program.
Yep.
Yeah, it is funny sometimes. Like, someone will ask me, like a friend, like I have a few friends who listen, but not all of them. And like, we'll all be hanging out, and one of them will ask me some question about the show, or like bring up something that was said, and all my other friends who don't listen are like, "What the hell are you talking?" Like that. Those, I know all of those are English words, but they don't make sense in succession. And so like sometimes that's like yeah. And whenever that happens, I like try to move on quickly. I'm like, yeah, no, it's funny, goofy, but like I don't want to, like, because then you're trying to explain to other people, and then eventually you like notice they like look away because they don't care.
I was having dinner on Sunday night.
Yeah.
Group of people, two of whom were parents of one of our friends, and the girl next door competition became a topic.
Right. And now you're tasked with explaining
it in 2025. And then like the filtering process for getting in, and then how one of producer Joe's all-time favorites infiltrated the contest by stealing an Inside STL tank top and claiming to be an Inside STL girl next door to get a photo shoot so she could tell people she was in, as if that was like a badge of honor. I mean, that needs its own Swopes picks.
That needs really its own 30 for 30.
It could be an all-timer. And like have Joe and have her and have the photographers do the interview. And as I'm telling it, I'm going, this contest, the Inside STL Girl Next Door contest, is on, for real, the top 5 reasons why the show is still around in 21 years old. Because without it, we wouldn't have had the revenue and the model from the events and the advertising to bankroll doing TMA, paying the Cat and Doug and producer Joe through Inside STL. It was a bridge to get us from the show being whatever on 1380 to, you know, eventually what it got to back in whatever 2011, 12, and then now in 2025, which sounds ridiculous.
Right.
I will always say sales is the number one reason. And then you can go number 2, 3, 4, 5. But number 1, there's a big gap between 1 and 2. That's it. That's the game. It's just like any other business. But yeah, when you sit there and you start breaking down the Girl Next Door contest and like how important it was, it sounds so asinine. Now, I know that there was no bullshit going on. And I actually took the competition seriously. I was never like, man, I'd sure like to. It just you know, wasn't who I was, kind of surprisingly, certainly not who I am now, where I'm like, man, she's hot. I own the company. I ought to, use my.
Right.
It just wasn't that way. And I was, at that time, it's 15 years ago, the age gap wasn't that substantial. Now it'd be really fucking weird. But either way, I know I'm like, oh God, I hope nobody brings up the Inside STL Girl Next Door contest because I, made my way through the contestants. Zero. But when you look back on it, the contest was you won by winning the online vote, so that drove people to the site, InsideSTL.com, and then the other half of the vote was in person.
Judge panel.
Which then that was for the Girl Next Door of the Year.
Got it.
Which featured the likes of Mickey Carroll working with Rudy and Timberfake and Rich Gould and Bree Olson. And Todd Wellemeyer.
I was going to say that. I feel like there was a former St. Louis athlete somewhere in there.
Well, they were current. I mean, I have to say, I'm very proud of that.
Absolutely. Could you imagine like Lars Nootbaar coming out now?
I mean, it's just like I look back on it and I'm like, that was, because we talk about it and I don't even believe it. It is true. The romanticizing of the past in TMA, and I think any show, is certainly a big part of this whole thing, but that was outstanding. That was truly outstanding. I mean, it was a free-for-all.
Yeah.
It was an absolute free-for-all. The nonsense that went on, and we would pack these fucking plates like they were the events, as dumb as it was.
Yeah.
But I would treat it like I'm, going into war. I mean, it was.
How many were there? Like, one a month?
One a month, and then the Girl Next Door of the Year.
Right.
And these girls competed to their credit. Hey, if you won the month, you won $500.
Yeah.
And if you won the year, $2,500. In both cases, still to this day, I'd still be interested in both those.
Yeah.
Much less when you're 22-year-old and you're waiting tables at the Fairview Heights Hooters.
And you possibly make $3,000 just by showing up.
Yes, absolutely.
Events.
So then the venues that hosted them loved them because they knew they'd have a big crowd.
For sure. Symbiotic as fuck.
It was, and I stumbled into it. But the point is what that did was it created a revenue stream, which then allowed me to have a sales staff, which then allowed me to have revenue, which then allowed when 1380 came to us and said, can't pay you guys anymore, but would love to have you stay. You're just going to have to sell your own shit. If you make money, it's your profit. If you lose money, it's your debt. Up to you. And I'm like, okay, I guess we'll do it. When my dad said, Timmy, they're both shitholes. I'd rather control my own destiny in a shithole. And so that's how we did it. That was so key. If we did not have that, TMA ends, I don't even know, 2009, I think, when 1380 was out of money. Couldn't pay us anymore anyway.
And then right after that, you took on the IP, right?
Yes, that's correct. Yes, that is correct. That's also
another one of the
a
top
substantial
5.
thing. Yeah, absolutely. It was a super substantial thing. So, yeah, I mean, they could come in here today and go, okay, you're all gone. Be like, all right, we're going to be on YouTube tomorrow.
Yep, yoink that.
So it's our TMA channel. The logo's ours, the drops, the archives, the show, us on the show.
Yep.
We go.
Yep.
That's a unique spot to be in. I'd love to say that it was some brilliant strategy. It was just accidental.
Just ahead of your time, really. I think 5 years later, there was a huge advent of like owning your own IP, and then 10 years later, if you didn't, you were like odd man out, and you wouldn't be able to get it because companies might realize the value of it.
That's true. I guess in a roundabout way, the fact that we weren't working for legitimate places, Simmons Media was legitimate. It wasn't big, but it was a real company, and there were real people, like competent, with clean records, who owned and operated them. That was legitimate. But if we would have been working for a Hubbard, Emmis, Odyssey, iHeart, whatever, we would have never owned the IP. They would have gone, you're not owning it.
Yeah. It's a tough negotiation, too, because it's like, okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Ah, damn.
So, yeah, that's substantial. I don't know what the best thing to do. I mean, I don't know how many people would really be interested, like, in the stories. I don't know. I don't know if there's necessarily like Iggy talks about his book, and
there's
I guess
no way to do it, like tell the stories
without. But it's not. It wouldn't be done to like it wouldn't be done. It'd almost be done to like, here's the story of the show. You might like it, you might not. You probably don't know 90% of this stuff. Why would you? You probably don't know 90% of most businesses' stories, but you know some of think you know some of the stuff. Here it is, and here's what I learned, and here's where I fucked up, and I fucked up plenty along the way. But I suppose the North Star always was, you got to have sales, and therefore you've got to deliver return on investment for clients. And if you can do that, then you will have revenue. And if you have revenue, you're desirous on the open market, which is objective data. Whereas if a show is good or not, or if a show was better in the past, or if this person would be great on the show, that's all subjective. You can have 100 people and have 100 different opinions on that. But if you go, okay, well, this show's bringing in this much money, and here's the proof, you go, okay, well, we can't really argue with that.
Right.
Fucking hate the show, but that works.
You can hate a baseball player if he hits 310 with power. He's going to be valuable as fuck.
So I don't know how I got there, but I guess that was probably the key. And that's I suppose. But yeah, going back to the drops thing, Stedman's beginning, and then we left 13-8, and then we came back, and he just somehow. I also think if I'm like analyzing Stedman, he was probably so good at it, which is why you're probably so good at what you do. And also, I think Seymour was so good at what he did because none of you wanted to be on air. Mm-hmm. You, I think, just wanted to be associated with the show, not because you're like, oh, it'll help me get laid or something. Yeah. Right. You just loved the show. Yeah. Seymour was just a great producer who Barrett, coincidentally, actually introduced me to over email. And Stedman, I guess I think he wanted to do play-by-play, but he wanted to be a talk show host. And so it's like, okay, I'll go to KFNS back, this is 20 plus years ago. So then you don't have people like going, okay, well, let me grab the mic and give a take so I can get a job in Ames or something.
Chance to shine.
Right. And so I think that might have played a role in it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's when these questions do make me think about stuff that otherwise I don't ever think.
Those are the best questions.
Yeah. So tip of the cap to who's that?
That was
Tom.
Tom. What's up, Tom?
What's up, Tom? All right, Jackson. Let's see. I'll go into the YouTube chat and then we'll wrap up. We're at 60 people. They start coming along.
Just hanging out.
I can't imagine Tim talking New York Knicks or NBA in general. I want to do I want to like have Lex Luthor on because every time I see Lex Luthor in the YouTube chat on TMA, he's talking about St. Louis not having the NFL or NBA, and it's just like all he talks about the whole time. And I think he was deep voice dude when we were on Balloon Party and did the same thing.
That. Yeah.
And I just want to know what's going on there. Like, yeah, we don't have the NFL or NBA. I don't know what to say. No.
Right.
I'm bald and short, but I don't spend all day going, man, wouldn't it be nice to be tall with a head full head? It's just like, this is a fucking deal.
What's more likely? You getting hair on that head or an NBA team coming to St. Louis?
Oh, hair.
Yeah, for sure.
5-star play.
You can get that.
I'm more interested, however, in the NBA team.
Yeah.
Let's see. We got anything of note. I want to talk about Andrew Luck, Philip Rivers, and then the guy lists a ton of quarterbacks. My favorite drop ever.
My favorite.
I love that when you play that.
The best part of that drop is like Francesa was like, all right, if this motherfucker says one more quarterback, I'm dropping them. But he let him get like 5 off. It was so clear what he was doing, but he like waited almost to make the drop better.
If you're, and at this point, I mean, I don't know, maybe this goes on. I can't imagine. If your show is reliant on phone calls, as his clearly was. But hey, it worked. I mean,
towards the end, it was very reliant.
Right, but when it's him and Russo, they would obviously go back and forth. They would have guests, but usually, but he was relying on phone. I mean, okay, Pete in Staten Island, and he would he'd be exasperated after pressing the button to call the car. Paul in Massapequa, what do you got? And it's just like, okay, and that's all he did. And then he go, okay, did 15 minutes, we'll go to a break. That's all he did. Yeah. You are so vulnerable to the pranks, and it just...
Well, and then it's like a snowball because once someone realizes that you not only are susceptible to it but react in a certain way, that's going to bring in everybody. And then didn't Stern have what's Sour Shoes?
Yeah.
And he would call in, right? And then he would troll them. So once you're getting that happening, it's over. Like all you're going to get is troll calls, but that's the best. I think that my generation of people like in New York, because I have some friends who either lived in New York,
Herb
from New York, my cousins out there, like they love Francesa, ironically, because he's so goofy in the calls. But like people my uncle's age, or in their 50s and 60s, love Francesa unironically because he was like the voice of New York sports. So like he's generationally legendary for different reasons, and everyone loves him.
I love
even though he's if you know him only from the last 10 years, he's like a bumbling fool
who's probably made more money in this industry than almost anybody.
Well, this industry attracts the bubbling fool and rewards it.
Hey, Ho Chi Papers, I never catch these live, but let's go on the movie Adore.
I've never heard someone so adamant about me reviewing a movie that is so on the periphery. I mean, it is just... It's like an Australian movie from like 2013 that no one even saw in Australia.
What about The Girl Next Door?
That has more attraction than this movie, even though I'm sure it's great. It's got 32% Rotten Tomatoes, but it does have Robin Wright and Naomi Watts.
Oh, is there a situation there? I mean, it's a yes or no.
I can't tell. I've never seen the picture.
Oh, got it.
But he just really wants me to review this.
All right. Well, I mean, Movie Boy, I know. I think it's time.
It does have Ben Mendelsohn, who I love.
I think we all do. Right. Has Tim talked about this season of Sappho's regarding cooler temps? Let's listen. As we all know, it's a month for my birthday, and I am committed to trying with whatever I can to have it happen. But I realize I'm up against it. At this point, it's just probably not happening.
Yeah.
And that means I have to come to terms with it.
Yeah. Yeah. But I will say that this weather and the timing of the weather, it being a little early still in the summer, I would say has Sappho's on the rise.
Oh, it does. Well, you have data.
Well, one would say that Sappho's would come more into popularity once it cools down a little bit. No one wants to be, sweaty Sappho's isn't very inviting.
No.
But the fact that it's coming earlier, while days are still long, holes are still tight. Day holes turn to night holes, but those night holes don't come out till later.
Think about that. Think about that. Let's see. Hi, Jackson. Could you please stop saying like so much? That's from the Huntley Hot Wife Hunter. I don't notice that you say that. I'm not sure. Could you please stop saying like so much? Maybe saying like?
Like.
Got it.
Yeah. I think as broadcaster would tell you, like, there I go again. Now I'm going to be self-conscious about it.
You're in his head.
People have like go-to sayings or things that they just say. Like, I know mine, someone said it the other day, mine is in a vacuum. Like, I'll say in a vacuum a lot. But I think most broadcasters have things in there that, like, just muscle memory they go to when they don't know what to say. Little tics, vocalized pauses, whatever it may be.
I think like is a common one for people.
For sure.
Okay.
Is a very common one. Vocalized pause. And it sounds bad. I was about to say in a vacuum.
I don't know that it's wrong to romanticize the past. Everybody has their own favorite TMA era. Mine was regular guest hosting by Charlie and Jay and unrelenting sexual harassment of Doug. That's from Chaim Bloom's gag order.
I don't think romanticizing the past is like bad as long as you're aware of what you're doing.
Right. And so therefore, when you've been in the spot that I've been in since 2004 and you recognize that every time a change is made, then whatever person or thing that is different is now raved about as if it was the glory days, when I also can recall very easily, since it's my job, that while we were doing that which is being called the glory days, it was being called shitty. Fill in whatever you want to fill in, as you can imagine what my reaction is to it.
For sure.
See what I'm saying? That's so for example, when we went to 101, it was, predictable. The term I would use to you was boring, because I already know what's going to happen. Both from the negative standpoint, but also the positive standpoint. And seeing as I had experienced as many times I'd experienced, I'm kind of like, I'm tired of this. I just don't want to keep doing something good for the show happens, and then inevitably there's complaining about it. But this is our jobs. I don't know what to tell you. The goal is to make more money, to have better lives for us, just like I would imagine that is for you. We're just fuckboys who happen to do a show. And that's it. There's really nothing else to it.
I've been looking for a title here, and Fuck Boys to do a show is a great one.
I don't know what to say. So I don't know how many people have come up to me over the last 10 months and go, oh my God, I can listen now, or oh my God, I love the show so much more. But it depends on what bubble you're in. There are things that I like, there are things that I don't like, kind of like, just like everything else. But when it gets down to it, it is a job. But I have to say this, even though it's certainly, I think, obviously not the same extreme. When Jim Edmonds owned a part of Inside STL, and we would text about he'd be on his way to the World Series or NLCS, and I'm texting with him, and he would I don't even know why, but I can still picture it where I lived, and he would text, and he'd go, what are you up to? And I'd go, I'm just hanging out at my place. What's going on with you? And he'd go, I'm on my way to work. And I recall writing back, work, ha ha, and I think in his mind he's like, I wasn't being funny. I mean, that's what it is. Right. But for me, even though we're involved in a business together, I still viewed him as that's the Cardinal center fielder, and I'm a huge fan. And God, I hope they win tonight. Right. But I'm communicating with him. It's a different deal. And the only time, truly, that I broke that or I crossed the line, I let him know that I was going to do it. Was when I was going on, I think, with Stephen A. Smith on ESPN the Friday before the Cardinals. I think it was playing the Brewers, and they nearly blew the division lead in 2006. And I said to him, I'm pretty sure it was a text. I can picture where I was in my place. And I said, hey, because I felt like it was never talked about that, hey, I know we hang out. I know our wives are friends. But I can't have you ever asking about the team, and I'm not going to tell you, so it's just got to be understood. It was never talked about. It was just like, it's understood.
Right.
I didn't say anything. He didn't say anything. So in that particular spot, I'm like, hey, I'm going on ESPN. I think it was, like I said, Stephen A. Smith. If not, it was a SportsCenter show. And it was actually Barrett who had set it up. And I'd like to have something other than, well, the Cardinals have been really struggling here. I don't know. Is there anything I can tell them that people don't know? He goes, sure. You want me to tell them? Because we don't get along. We miss Gridzolanek. So-and-so. It was just like this random, I'm going.
Influx of
holy shit.
Valuable information.
Oh, my God. Yeah. And I'm like, Gridzolanek? Like, who the fuck,
The glue.
He was on the team for a year. Couldn't have been more random. There was something else in there. And he goes, and I can't wait for this to be over. That's what he said.
Yeah.
No bullshit. A month later, the man is on the field wearing the same thing he was wearing 7 hours earlier when he was with me in Western Illinois, holding up the World Series trophy. The same guy who a month earlier said, I can't wait for this to be over. And it kind of speaks to you never know what you don't know, but once you don't know, then it's hard to come on the air and act like you do.
Right. 100%.
So it's this strange thing, but you can't get mad at people for opining on that which they either do know or they think they know. Mm-hmm. So, I guess for lack of a better term, I'm at peace with it, but I'm only at peace with it because I experienced it. And I had the good fortune, I suppose, of hearing all this shit. He could have given me 1,000 guesses as to why the team was struggling, and Mark Gridzolanek wouldn't even have been on my mind.
No.
The delightful Ronnie Belliard. You don't need Gridzolanek when you got that.
Yeah.
And that the team, that he couldn't wait for it to be over. That was Pujols and Roland and Edmonds and Chris Carpenter and Adam Wainwright and Molina. It's a world championship team, and he couldn't wait for it to be over.
Yeah.
And and then in New York at Shea Stadium, he wound up being the guy delivering the speeches after games, and he became the kind of the captain. Yeah. So he might have just said it in a moment of frustration, but not making it up.
Right.
I'm pretty sure Jim would sit here and go, "Sure, I might have said it. I don't fucking know. I'm farming."
I like Martin's impression of Edmonds because he sounds like he's a valley girl. No, I'm farming.
There's so much. It's just he truly a fascinating character who unfortunately, has been painted as something that at his core he's not. He is a good guy who I just think, and I don't know if you've been around it or if any of our people who listen to this podcast have been around it, has had such a natural ability and then also a love for something. And it wasn't just baseball, it was sports as a whole. And he was gifted beyond belief from the beginning that he has a detachment that is so benign from the everyday person that it can come off as being, and then in addition to, smear campaigns against him. But hey, I mean, he's the one who chose to do some of that shit, so he's got to live with it as far as like the reality stuff.
Right.
Certainly, if he would have asked my counsel, I would have said, I think I'd pass. But hey, whatever, it's his thing. I'm sure he would have told me to pass on plenty of shit that I did. But yeah, I think that's kind of the core. But it's still the same thing because he truly did sit at his locker stall in the Cardinal locker room when it was hot out and just yell to no one in particular, bang, BP, it's too hot. And there's no one around. And you just be walking by, and he's not saying it to like LaRussa or, Okendo. He's just complaining. He's just complaining. I remember asking him after he hit the home run to win Game 6 of the NLCS. I go, and we didn't have the report we wound up having. I go, do you realize that moment will be played forever for Cardinal fans? And you just did that? He goes, really? You think so? And I go, yes, absolutely. You just walked off Game 6 of the NLCS to create a Game 7 in extra innings in a game that you guys were actually down in, I think, going into the 8th or 9th inning. And he goes, oh, if that's the case, that's cool. But I mean, that's what it's just. It's a different wiring that I think allows people like that. Freeze, ironically, the guy he's traded for. Same kind of thing. It's a different thing for us as fans. It's like it's everything, but when they're the ones in the arena, it's just the job, and it doesn't really stand out as anything. And right. That kind of stands out to me. But I also think it's that those guys tend to be the ones who excel in those moments because those moments don't freak them out.
If you're not putting a lot of weight onto the moments, then the pressure can't really get to you.
I don't know. I'd be curious. I'd be curious on that. And then at the same time, those who do, then you can get into a spot where you get in your head and you hit a shot or swing and miss or misplay a ball.
Right.
That in a normal situation you absolutely would. Let's see. Gotta you do the 40-year-old virgin? Probably relatable to a lot of TMA listeners. Not me, though. That's from Lex Luthor. Sounds like he's doing a
request?
A request for Movie Boy. Are you taking requests?
Sure. I love 40-Year-Old Virgin. One of my favorite of the Apatow comedies of that generation.
Hey, Jax, please get Doug on to review Grown Ups 2. It's gold waiting to happen.
This week I was planning on just kind of doing a mailbag housekeeping kind of week.
Yeah?
Kind of a lull in movies at this moment. And I got, stuff to do, other stuff to do. So I was thinking about it, but I think maybe me and Doug talking for like half an hour tomorrow after the show about Grown Ups 2 could be a nice little, I think people might enjoy that. And just to hear
Doug's opine?
Bitch about it.
I was on my vacation live streaming, and I can't remember why. You guys, there was something that was going to be coming up.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I can't recall what it was, but I listened all the way from Hilton Head to Savannah, which is about an hour. And I truly was laughing my ass off when Doug brought up Grown Ups 2.
Yeah, I think I might. I'm actually going to text him after QFTA today and say, hey, can you hang out for 20 minutes after the show? Because I'm going to take it really seriously, like how I reviewed Eddington, Ari Aster's new movie. And I will do that with Doug where I'm really serious about it. Like, what was your favorite scene, Doug? What did you think about the Buscemi performance? What does this mean to Adam Sandler's canon?
You won't be able to not break.
I'll break. But I'm gonna stay the course, and if I can get 25 minutes out of him, that's good.
Hot Wife Hunter says Marty is a hoot.
Agreed. Marty makes me laugh.
Yeah. Let's see. Tim, is this how you feel daily on the radio? I don't understand the question, and I feel like
at all.
I don't know how to answer it. Can I ask for more? Tim, is this how you feel daily on the radio? What do you think that means?
Some about how Edmonds. I don't know.
Oh.
I have no idea.
I was trying to respond to whatever it was. I don't know that it's wrong to romanticize the past. Everybody has their own favorite TMA era. Mine was regular. I guess what I was trying to say is it's predictable. And that is what I'm trying to say is the moments that we're living in are not praised while we're living in them / hosting the show, but inevitably in the future, the present will be called the glory days. While we're living the glory days, the present gets criticized.
Right.
I don't know if that sentence made sense to those listening to the sentence, but in my head, it communicated what I was trying to say.
It's the Andy Bernard line from The Office. I wish they told you were in the glory days when you were in the glory days.
But see, I live it, and I'm like, this is fucking great.
Yeah, it's been the glory days.
But I mean, like, going to spring training. I'll be on PGA, getting on 95 to head up to Donald Ross, which is where the Cardinal, and I'm just like, I can't believe this is my job.
Yeah.
You know? And there's shows. I said it to you almost a year ago at this point. And I said, I was not, I've been very open about this. It's not like I was jumping up and down about the chance. I'm like, I need to be on 101. Jackson's like, I'm leaving unless we're on 101. Or Doug's going, it's time.
Yeah, high time.
Yeah. Couldn't fucking care any less. If they would have said, here's the deal. We want you guys on HD2. Here's the contract. They've been A-okay with it. Couldn't have cared any less.
Right.
That's what they wanted to do. That's what they, that was what was on the table. Is that or go in house? But I know I said this to Jackson. What did I do? Do you know where I'm going with this?
No, I don't actually.
It's like I'm getting divorced, but I'm still in love with my wife. That's what I said. So it's not like I or you or Doug, for that matter, were sitting there going, man, we're tired of this. We need to change.
Right.
That's not what it was. And so we're well aware. And on top of that, for however many months, I was hoping and fighting for Iggy to still be a part of it, and still would, for that matter. That guy adds an irreplaceable element to any show, period. I don't even think anybody could debate that. He is a unique character, and I still feel that way. But just because I feel that way, that doesn't mean that I go, oh, well, then I hate the show, or I hate somebody who disagreed with me. You recognize you can't get everything you want. However, in my career, up until that moment, anytime somebody had been let go, or I wanted somebody on the show, I was able to, it usually took a lot of work, or me giving some money away, get the person back. And in this case, I suffered my first L, so to speak. But I also am aware of things that I realize people in the audience aren't aware of through no fault of their own. They shouldn't be aware of them. That the game has changed, and that it's not about Iggy, it's about the game. And so that's the thing. So that's something that you understand. And so then you get a choice. It's like, okay, here's the deal. You either have 101 or you take it in-house. And if you take it in-house, that means you don't have $1 guaranteed. I'm the one most likely bankrolling it. And I have 2 young children. And as Doug said, we could always take it in-house. 101 morning drive's there right now. Why not do it?
Yep.
And it makes all the sense in the world. So that's that's a summary of it. But I also understand that there wasn't a soul who knew that this was going on. I mean, for real, the fact that it didn't get out is the tip of the cap. Yeah. But it wasn't like me, Doug, and Jackson got together and go, man, fuck this. We need to change this.
Right.
We knew that was my line. I'm getting divorced and I'm still in love with my wife.
Yeah.
That was my line. I sat right here and you were right over there. And I said, I'm not at peace with this. Let's see what we got. Anything else? Tim, please have Jackson add the Segi back to the Skelly when the cat calls in from Ireland. That phone booth smelled like mackerel. It's from the Veiled Prophet.
It's in there.
It is in there.
Mm-hmm. It's under the TMA Classic Mix. There's 3 versions of the TMA Classic Mix.
Oh, what's in there? I don't even know. Sorry for asking.
It's a lot of stuff that was played during the 10-year Inside STL anniversary, which was, of course, 10 years ago this year. So a lot of, I think that Symphony of Drops is in there. Doug's golf course rant, or golf coach rant. Doug's DMV rant is in there. There's a lot of great stuff in there. Talon, the do you want the photos anyway?
God, I love that line.
Yeah, there's a lot.
I think I wet myself when the cat said that.
TMA Classic Mix is chock full of great stuff.
We would never be able to do that in 2025.
I don't even know if you were allowed to do it then.
I think you could make a case, and I believe there is a chance that that call was actually played in a court of law. I believe producer Joe told me that.
Like as an example of like, you can't do this.
It's one of those areas. There's a couple places where I particularly still kind of don't go into.
Yeah.
But that, even though this is fucking 2 decades ago, for real, might have been even more. Might have been going back to 2004. But yes, I believe that might be the case. But it wasn't about the content. You have to tell somebody that they're on.
Yeah. On live. I wonder what it's
Although
like.
I believe in Missouri, which is so fucked, I think it's a one-party state, but that might be for recording. I don't know about a live broadcast.
Now, what's interesting is if that rule applies for podcasts, because could you put somebody on the air live to tape, not live over the air? That I don't know.
I don't know. It's a good question.
Yeah, I have no idea. I would say err on the side of caution, but it is amazing because that lady is like perfect too. She's like perfect in the entire.
No, sir, thank you.
Would you like
the fact that the cat asked that?
He goes, "Yeah, I'd really like to look good in front of Talon." And I'm sure Kat found out who Talon was 5 minutes before that happened.
Well, producer Joe truly loved the show Laguna Beach.
It wasn't a reality show.
But I'm talking to you about it like you know what it was. You were 7.
It wasn't like a reality show. Right?
It's where Kristen Cavallari came from. Jay Cutler's ex. What is it? That's what you know her as.
Yeah.
It was an awful show. It's like any of this crap.
Yeah, like Summer.
But it was just the first one.
Shit. Yeah.
It was clearly not reality, but they just picked like hot kids in the school and had them fight. And hey, it worked.
Yeah.
And she's probably sitting on a bunch of money because of it. So God bless America. But one of the kids' names was Talon. And they lived in Laguna Beach, ironically, where Evans is from, and not in touch with reality. And how we got, and I wanted to go to Vegas, and I'm sure I was just bitching about how much hotels were on the air, and the cat's like, let me call a place, and I'll act like I'm your agent. Who should you be? And I think Joe would come in during commercial breaks and talk about what was going on in Laguna Beach.
Like anyone gave a damn.
Exactly. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, the fact that this went on, like if that would go on a break now, like you'd bring up some
Summer I Turned Pretty,
Lottie like fucking Da program and start talking to me, Martin, and Doug about it. I'd probably just get up and leave. Actually, I wouldn't say anything. I just got this fucking guy again. I'm going to go in the hallway. Right. But that's what went on.
Right.
And there was a guy named Talon. And so that became a thing, that there was a guy named Talon, which is a name that didn't wind up catching on in American culture.
I mean, it's like an appendage for a bird. Birds have
truly
talons.
Is. And that was the kid's name. And so the cat said, all right, I'm going to act like I'll be an agent for Talon. See if I can get you a room. I think I can do it.
Unbelievable.
It's just outstanding. And then he's got nude pictures of Talon. And he's gonna send them over to the customer service rep for Treasure Island. And then when she says, we don't have anything available, and he says, do you want the pictures anyway? This kid's really good looking.
As like a form of currency. Like this should cover the room. These tasteful nudes of Talon.
Oh, it's just outstanding. Let's see, Bridgeton landfill fume huffer has explained what he meant when he said, Tim, is this how you feel daily on the radio? And he was saying your greatness in referencing to Freeze not realizing he's great. Yeah, I appreciate that. What I'm attempting to communicate is it becomes boring when you know what will happen and it's predictable, and I also don't know how authentic it is. And it becomes get me my likes, because I'm going to talk about how it used to be great, except when it was great you were bitching about it, and you were bitching about it then because what was before was great, but now you're talking about the past as it was great, but when it was the present it was shit.
Right. And
that bores me. After like 2 decades of it, I can't get worked up about it because I've seen it and it's just like, okay.
Right. You know,
but I guess what I'm saying is, like, how does some of you in the audience not see how predictable it is?
I think now that we've talked about this pattern, I think people have noticed that.
Right. But that doesn't mean, listen, my favorite shit on the show, I don't know, for real, I loved when Jay would be in. Yes. Past producers, truly, in the case of whether it be you being obviously a big part of the show now, but under the hiring of a producer, totally different than Seymour, but totally different than Joe, who is still a friend. Like, Joe just texted me on Saturday. I mean, I haven't worked with the motherfucker in 12 years. He texted me, hey, you want to play in a scramble at St. Albans? Like, there's still just that bond. I don't even know when the last time I saw him was, you know? It's just there. And I guess part of it is because it's like you played it on an NFL team with somebody.
Yeah.
You went through these battles that only you knew about.
Especially you and producer Joe.
And I think it is different than you worked, like, if I were to see the people I worked with at Pietro's or even KMOV,
Right.
I think it's different because a portion, a real sliver of the public gets invested in what you do and either cheers for you or cheers against you, but then it's kind of the people in that room who really know what's going on and who really knows what you dealt with So that's different. Because KMOV, it's like, yeah, we were public, but it's not like we're just doing a fucking news.
Right, it's different.
It's different than this thing.
It's less personality-based.
Right.
It would be kind of funny, though, if there was a lot of people invested in the Pietro's busing and waiting staff.
Or the local news. Man, I love the 2001 cast at KMOV. Oh, that's when it was really good. Like when Miriam left and they brought in Vicky Newton, just went to shit. I miss Miriam.
KMOV should
Like.
should be a poll. Like, what was your favorite
era
crew?
But again, you want to have that. That's the thing that's
you
like...
want people invested.
Yes. So it's a weird deal. But it's also something that I understand completely how if you haven't experienced it, it sounds absurd or like bullshit.
Yeah.
But if you don't have people who hate you and you're in this job, you're probably not going to make a lot of money.
Right. Right.
So but it's so fucking counterintuitive, and until you experience it, so I don't know if this does me any favor because I'm obviously kind of at peace with whatever, but I try to tell the stories to help communicate it as to what the existence is.
I'd rather.
What are you doing right now? You're staring at your hands.
I'd rather yes, my hands are full, but that's better than empty.
I don't even know what the hell's going on. Are you like meditating?
Say it again. Yes, my hands are full, but that's better than my hands being empty.
Huh. It's interesting.
Got a lot of stuff, a lot of bullshit coming in, and that sucks, but I'd rather that than have nothing in my hands.
Right.
All day.
Yeah, I am better when I have shit to do.
Absolutely.
But then I torture myself about the shit I have to do.
Yeah.
But I find when I'm just like sitting around, that's when I am really my own worst enemy.
Stewing.
Yeah, I don't do well. That is why I think I have an issue with the cold weather, because I'm stuck inside. Yes, indeed. I think that's what it's about.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm on a high.
How could you not?
Oh,
Here as we say that in a
studio.
Windowless room
Exactly right.
inside.
All right, let's see what else is going on. Let's see. Anything going on? People are attacking people who we don't work with.
Which is always lovely.
I mean,
hands full rather than empty.
Let's see. I was hooked way back when Tim did the live reads for pet food. I got a dog. Dog's name is Dixie. Yes, that's when the cat tickled me, except the copy was so asinine that I couldn't get through it without laughing. Deep Thoughts by Vladdy Jack. That's from the Veiled Prophet.
You know it.
Jackson, we did it.
We did it.
We said it all.
You said, and there it is. In quick succession.
Well, what is the title of the episode again?
Just fuck boys with a show.
Yeah, I can't use the fuck boy thing.
F boys with a show. Easy.
Okay.
Or I can put 2 stars.
Okay. Well, you tell me. You know better
fuck boys
than I
with
do.
a show.
I always appreciate the sponsors, of course. I think the world of these 3 people: James Carlton, Mark Hanna, and Seth Goldcamp. Like as I said, Cal Kennedy sent me a picture of the Design Air truck outside my parents' house today. Parents weren't there, but Seth Goldcamp was.
I've worked with all 3 of those gentlemen at some point in my life, and
I
they've
just
all been
really
great.
like them.
Yeah.
That's another thing, I guess, truly, the fact that the sponsors on the show, even past ones who aren't involved anymore, they might not be involved in the business, or they just have to pull the money for whatever reason, or, it's been a decade. We really have, I guess, inevitably, there's 1 or 2, I suppose. I'm not really thinking of one right now, but, it's easy to talk about them because if I see James, I'm like, oh, what's going on? I'm looking forward to talking with him. Mark's been a sounding board for me. Seth was immediately there for the years. He's the longest-running sponsor. Great guy. Wanted to have me come on Donnybrook, which he sponsors. I said I'd be...
I think you'd be really popular there.
Whew. I don't think I'd play well. But I know I don't know.
Yeah.
What am I going to do? Come on there and just give takes about shit I don't know? I mean, I know that's the gig, but I'm not talking about for that. I'm talking about our industry. That's what I'm not going after Wendy Weiss or Alvin Reed or Bill McClellan.
Yeah.
Who else is on there? Charlie Brennan is the provocateur, I believe that's the title. There is, I think my wife would be more aroused if she walked in on me with one computer monitor with a gentleman on the receiving end of a gangbang while playing online poker and smoking than walking in on me watching Donnybrook.
Honestly, in my head pictures, I can see you smoking while playing poker and watching gay porn quicker than I can see you watching Donnybrook.
I watch Donnybrook.
I know.
And when I have it on, she'll go, "What are we doing? We 90 years old?"
Well,
and I go, I got to tell you, I'm interested in the program.
Right.
Sorry to say.
I can flip the channel,
like
and
yeah,
the stack can be on.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I could have this poker hand up.
I was watching Hard Knocks last night. She was shitting on that.
What can the man want? Can men not have hobbies?
Exactly right. Thank you for saying that. I'm going to text her that right now.
Can they not have hobbies?
She's about to fly to San Diego for 4 days.
White Castle weekend.
I'm telling you. We've got, I don't even know, preschool night for our 3-year-old tomorrow. And it's going to look like I'm like Napoli guy rolling in without the wife to preschool night. I know how it's going to look. Oh, I wonder, is everything all right with the McKernans? What did you hear? Well, he was at the preschool night by himself. Oh.
He's bringing both the boys or just the youngest?
I think they're both going to spend the night at her parents' tomorrow night.
Got it.
Because they got to get them to school.
Fair. Yeah.
And it's easier, because I got a responsibility to entertain the millions and millions. And then my wife goes, "Well, I think my parents were just planning on watching them all weekend." And I don't know why I didn't just go, "Great."
Right.
But for some fucking reason, like, what do you think? I'm like some invalid? That I can't do it? If anything, I want to spend some time. Like, it's going to be boot camp in Kirkwood.
Time to shape up.
Yeah. I mean, I'm telling you. This guy has no idea. And by this guy, I mean the 8-year-old. The 3-year-old's a delight.
Yeah.
Loses his shit every now and again, but he's 3.
Yeah.
8-year-old.
Time to
Oh,
learn.
I'm telling you. Oh, you're going to learn, and you're going to learn good. But then I go, why did I could have had
You're out.
what my brother Kevin has constantly. His wife goes out of town, takes their son, and I'm just like, oh my God, you got it figured out. He has learned the art of no, unapologetic no.
Yeah.
And I think it was my sister-in-law, who's truly wonderful, my brother Kevin's wife, says, one of the reasons why we're so happy is I don't make Kevin do stuff he doesn't want to do. And I go, God, it's so simple, but isn't that such a truth for those who have been in relationships or marriages?
Say it louder for the people in the back. Is
Amen.
What the kids would say on
Like, what does it matter? Yeah, I guess it'd be nice if I'd like to go fuck around at this Christmas party, but I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Doesn't make me a bad guye.
Right.
You know, I'm a good dad. I just don't want to do it. If you want to do it, come with me. If you don't want to do it, don't. Don't fucking care. Isn't that it's such a simple thing.
Right.
That and occasionally hook up with other women. Right. That's all we're asking here.
You're
this
a simple man.
That ain't meat and potatoes. That's the thing that people don't understand. Do you plan on watching every single snap of Mizzou Central Arkansas? It should be 45-0 in the fourth quarter. I probably will, and here is the reason. I will want to watch Gabe's postgame show.
Yeah. If you're going to stay up for Gabe's postgame show, you might as well
That's
watch
the
till
reason.
end.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. I might be a morning post-show listener
I will
on
be.
Thursday.
There's no way. What is it, 7 o'clock?
7 o'clock kick, yeah. So that game should be over 10:30-ish. Post-game show probably will start at like 11.
Ooh,
A little late.
that's getting into my...
It's the one post-game show a year that's like on a, I was about to say a school night, but like...
I follow you, baby. I follow you. And then I guess my wife and I will listen to the post-game show on the Kansas game driving back to St. Louis on Sunday.
For sure.
Probably all feeling
Save it.
awful.
Yeah, save it. Yeah,
Oh, yeah, that's what we did with the Vanderbilt game and the Auburn game. I love it. I know, because Gabe and I are like, we know each other really well. And I think he's like kind of uncomfortable with how much I love his postgame show. Because it'd be like one of my closer friends going, man, Buck Swope's email today.
Right.
Fucking good. And I'd be like, oh, I'm glad you're listening. But, internally I'd be like,
I think he finds it
what are
weird
we doing?
because you like the people of the tracks. And he's obviously great at breaking down Mizzou. It's literally
I
living.
love how much he doesn't mind pissing off his audience.
Yeah.
And knowing that it's not like Colin Cowherd or Stephen A. Smith, like that's him.
Right.
But I don't know if the audience knows that that's him. But I know it's him, and that's what makes me giggle to myself.
He's very authentic.
Right. Oh, it's the best.
Yeah.
It's the great, and especially with that fan base, this fucking exposed nerve that is the Missouri fan base, waiting for the bottom to fall out at all times.
Always.
So while I, under no circumstances, want Missouri to lose to Kansas, there is the silver lining of the postgame show.
There's always a silver lining. That's the best
It'll get to, listen, guys, I don't know what you want me to say. Like, he gets to a point where he's exhausted, and it's like 3 minutes into the show.
Because he lets it billow a little bit, you know. It's like 40 minutes after the game ends, that's when he goes live. So people have had takes working, you know, they're preheating the oven.
God.
It's great. Okay.
I need to get some sponsor dollars for him to go to live phone call.
Yeah, they got, at least for one segment, you know. Take some voicemails, but then for like 10 minutes, we'll open up the phone lines.
The phone technology on the Colonel's postgame show.
That first year, it was awesome. It was so, oh my God. I don't think he knew how to mute people on hold. Just kids screaming while someone's giving a take, and it was a bad take as it was.
You get so
Gabe just had to sit there for another 35 more minutes.
All right, guys, I don't know what we're doing.
This is brutal.
I just got an email from the place where I play golf, Kansas City Chiefs Apparel and More.
Ugh.
What are we doing? All right, I gotta go. It's 2:12. Jackson, I've enjoyed it as always. How long did we go? Hour and 50 minutes.
You mean you literally nailed it? Hour 49?
Wasn't planning on that, but
Seldom do.
Here we are. Thank you to our sponsors, James Carlton, Mark Hanna, and Seth Goldcamp, Design Air Heating and Cooling, Evergreen Wealth Strategies, and the James Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency. For Jackson Burkett, I'm Tim McKernan. This has been QFTA on the Tim McKernan Show.